Alright, so just wanting to document our process because we got some worms to put in. So this is going to be our worm bin. Put some air holes up here and some holes in the bottom. Put a piece of cardboard down there, and it's got all wet because it was sitting outside in the rain. It's still raining, so that's why we're doing it in here. And then got the worms. Kind of cool thing, I had the bag open for about like 2 minutes, and one crawled up into the dryer. So that'll be a surprise for somebody. So for bedding, newspaper. I was tearing some of these up, but actually we're going to use mostly this white paper, and this is just a cool random bag of shredded paper that I happened across. I like kind of capturing vectors. It makes me feel good. So I made a mess, but I'm going to put in a good bit of paper. I see some color, so probably not good for some people who'd be concerned. I'm not, but I think the worms will do what they do. And I'll save the rest for later. Might need to add more bedding. So I got to get the paper wet. A little bit of water. I think just from my understanding of worms, that the moisture is probably more crucial than anything to making a good environment. So you can see about how much I'm having to put down for just about that much paper. And the reason I'm not doing a lot, not filling the whole thing up, is because I want to slowly add more carbon as I add more bedding. So, sticky. Unforeseen. See, now you'll know. Shredded paper is real sticky when wet. I'm getting it to where I feel like it's moist, but I can't quite, can squeeze a little bit of water. So that's where I'm going to stop. It still is kind of fluffy, and there's still some dry patches that will kind of balance it all out. Then I went ahead, or not went ahead, but I'm going to use some of this. This is our kind of freshest compost from the compost pile outside. It's not really hot because it was from the outside. It's had time to cool, but its leaves hopefully has a little bit more bacteria and good things. So I'm going to put a good bit of this. It's from a newer pile. It's still about a month old, I think. So leaves too, and these are already have really nice moisture. So here's where we're at, and mix it all up. And now let's see what these worms look like. So this was a pound of red wigglers. It's kind of like a brick of red wigglers. So there they are falling off. Small skinny worms. I don't really know that much about them. It feels like the bedding here is definitely on the dry side. So something to take into consideration. We're just going to spread them out. There's definitely a lot of moisture on that bottom cardboard, so they can run down and get into that water. Gosh, this is a lot of worms. And probably could add more bedding, just seeing how the leaves really shrank in volume when I started putting water on them. So I might do that, but since I would then be putting dry paper right on top of the worms while they're still fresh like this, I'm just going to use the rest of these leaves. I also have some soil. Since I'm just doing this video by myself, I'll run out and get it in a minute, but kind of like an organic, something that has real good till still, but is very far broken down. Something like that would be real nice. I just saw a big worm, so there might be a mix from using this, but that's about it. So they're going to get in there, spread around. I'm going to start adding food right away, right on top. Just leafy greens to start until we get all established. You can see the lid underneath. That's because I put holes in the bottom to make sure liquids drain, gets air down there on that side, and that's what the lid is for catching. So It was a relatively cheap project. The most expensive part was the worms, and I found out right after I bought them that I had a friend that I could have gotten some for free from. So hopefully you guys learned something or can take something away, and that's it.